Before we get into today's video, I'd just like to briefly say that if you do enjoy today's content, if you could please consider leaving a like and comment, as well as hitting that subscribe button and clicking that notification bell. That would be hugely appreciated, as it really does help us out an absolute ton. You can also follow us on Twitter at The Fight Queen to stay up to date with all the latest channel news, as well as catch us live on Twitch at twitch.tv/The Fight Queen. We are live Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. GMT, and then again from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. GMT. So, with that being said and out of the way, let's get right into the video, guys. First things first, I think we'll touch on the main event, which is Cerrone versus Iaquinta. And boy, oh boy, is that shaping up to be an incredible fight. I'm very 50-50 on it, to be honest. I really like both gentlemen, so I don't, my heart is not swayed either way in terms of wanting to see one win over the other, but my analytical part of my brain is kind of edging towards Iaquinta. Ever so slightly, but it is towards Iaquinta. Let me explain. First off, I've been rewatching both fights, both the two most recent fights for both gentlemen. Iaquinta was Nurmagomedov and Kevin Lee, and then Cerrone was up against Alex Hernandez and Mike Perry. How could I forget? So, I rewatched the two latest fights for both gentlemen, and I gotta say, there's been a marked improvement in both of them as of late. An incredible market improvement. But in particular in Iaquinta, yes, you can argue that Cerrone has finally found what he wants to fight for, and has really got a drive and a passion in the game finally, and is therefore much more switched on. So there is all of that to account for. But Iaquinta's fight IQ seems to have taken a dramatic improvement. It seems to have increased dramatically, should I say. In the last two fights in particular, he has showed incredible fight IQ that is above a lot of people in his division. And I think he will be a lot of trouble for people in his division if he keeps up the way he is going. So we'll touch on the Nurmagomedov fight first. I'll only briefly touch on each fight, but let's get into it. So the Nurmagomedov fight, for a start, I think in rounds 3 and 4, he really showed his fight IQ because he knew he had to switch things up. He knew that just allowing Khabib to get right in there and get them takedowns as he's trying to fire off his own combos just isn't going to work. Khabib's always going to get under, he's always going to get hold of you, and he's always going to get you down. It's just what he does. So to change things up, he decided to let himself eat things. He decided to feed Khabib a bit. He decided to literally feed the jab to Khabib and just allow Khabib to land one jab, then 2 jabs, then 2 jabs and a hook, and then 3 jabs, and so on and so forth. And you could see that the clock works in motion in Khabib's head as he was trying to work out, is he doing this on purpose? Or have I just tired him out so much that he can't take it anymore, and his defense is gone? And he kept punching, kept firing the jab. Iaquinta kept eating it, and the doubt became less and less in Khabib's mind that this was on purpose, and he became more and more convinced that Iaquinta was just tired and had nothing left. So he kept firing the jab, and finally he began to get a little lazy with it. He began to drop his left hand as he fired the right jab, I believe it was. And then out of nowhere, boom, a hook comes from Iaquinta, followed by 2 jabs. And it wakes up Khabib there and then. And Khabib realizes, oh, this is on purpose. But he's felt the taste. He's felt the taste of what it's like to be successful on the feet. And he wants to keep eating. He wants to finish his meal. So he continues to keep the fight on the feet. I think he maybe goes for 1 or 2 takedowns in rounds 3 or 4 maximum, but he doesn't try to be takedown heavy like he normally is. He keeps things up. He keeps things fighting on the feet. And as a result, Iaquinta begins to look better and better and better. And he really begins to sort of not take over the fight necessarily, but he begins to show holes in Khabib's game. And he begins to show that if given a proper, 6-week, 8-week training camp, there stands a good chance Iaquinta might beat Khabib. That's what I saw, at least. Then we move into the next fight against Kevin Lee, and oh my God, what a performance. I could not believe what I was watching with Iaquinta. He showed the fight IQ of a legend, the ability to switch up, grabbing the single leg into an elbow or into a hook, to mix up leg kicks and the like with the jab and with the hooks. And his boxing ability, to say nothing of his boxing ability in that fight. Iaquinta has some of the best boxing, if not the best boxing skills in the lightweight division. Hands down. He is so good. His fundamentals are superb. His head movement is so precise. He's so good at reading what you're going to throw and countering off of it. He is just really, really good. Just not enough can be said about how good the boxing ability is of Iaquinta. But we've bigged him up enough. Let's touch on Cerrone. So in Cerrone's last 2 fights, man oh man, did he look good. Especially against Alex Hernandez. I mean, my God, Cerrone really showed not only that he has the drive now that he knows what he's fighting for in terms of having his child, but he showed why you never piss off the cowboy. I mean, just don't ever do it. If you're going to fight Cerrone, it's always been shown, at least after the Nate Diaz fight, it's always been shown that the best thing to do is get a friendly Cerrone in the cage with you. If you can be his friend, if you can shake his hand, if you can make him feel like it's just another sparring session with a couple of buddies, it's a tough night for Cerrone. It's always the case. But if you piss him off, if you give him a reason to want to hurt you, Cerrone can be so devastating. So it all depends which Cerrone we're going to get. Are we going to get the ruthless, I really, really want to fight for something here, pissed off kind of Cerrone? Or are we going to get the more friendly, hey, I'm just here for a few beers and a punch-up kind of Cerrone? Because, yeah, it really all depends. But in that Alex Hernandez fight, he showed such skills. Countering ability was so superb in that fight. He really, really showed an amazing ability to counter. He showed an amazing kicking ability and kicking prowess. And his jiu-jitsu in his last 2 fights have been so good. So good. He has shown amazing abilities, to be honest. Just absolutely amazing abilities. And, I mean, I don't think anyone will ever forget that armbar against Mike Perry. It was just unbelievable. One of the most devastating and impactful armbars I think I've ever seen. I mean, it was huge. And it straight up broke Perry's arm, let's not forget, which is just hugely impressive. And then with Hernandez, man, the takedown he got on Hernandez, the significant strike difference he got on Hernandez, the knockdown that he delivered on Hernandez was huge in that fight. The fight as a whole, the way he finished with that head kick, I believe it was just epic. Absolutely epic. Not enough can be said about how good he looked against Hernandez, but it was pissed off Cerrone. And as I've said, if you can get pissed off Cerrone, you're in for a really, really rough night. Almost everybody in the division is. But if you get friendly Cerrone, Iaquinta's got this all the way. I'm telling you guys now. His fight IQ, his boxing ability, his ability to mix things up, his jab, his takedowns, just everything. It's better. Although I must admit, Cerrone probably does have the jiu-jitsu advantage. So if things do go to the ground, he has to be wary of the arm bars, of the triangle chokes, of Cerrone fighting off of his back, because he is pretty freaking good off of his back. We have seen that multiple times throughout his career. So if Iaquinta does decide to mix things up with the wrestling, he has got to be wary of the jiu-jitsu. But apart from that, I really do kind of think Iaquinta's got it. I do. But to touch briefly on the co-main event as well, we have, let me just bring it up for you guys, Derek Brunson versus Elias Theodorou. And to touch on that briefly, I think that Brunson's going to take that to a decision. I think he's just going to try to maul Theodorou as much as possible on the ground, really employ wrestling as much as possible, keep him down, keep transitioning, keep striking, and just mix things up and make sure to zap Theodorou's gas tank as much as possible and ride it out to a decision. The Derek Brunson way. Moving on to the fight before that, we got Cub Swanson against Shane Burgos. I don't really know too much about Shane Burgos, so I won't touch too much on this fight, but I think, again, it's going to be a decision in Swanson's favour. I think experience over youth in this case, and I think Swanson will take it. Brad Katona fights before then, the Ultimate Fighter contestant. Katona always looks good. He's currently undefeated, and I think it's going to stay that way. He's a really, really good fighter, so yeah, I definitely expect him to walk away with the win. Before that, we have Walt Harris taking on Sergey Spivak. Walt Harris, I think he'll do the same as Derek Brunson and kind of ride things out, but I think due to the heavyweight division being as it is, so power-based and the guys being so devastating when they hit each other, I do think it'll be a round 2 KO/TKO instead of a decision. But I think it'll be very wrestling heavy again, a lot of clinch work, a lot of takedowns, and just mixing things up as much as possible. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this prediction video. I may do another where I focus a bit more on the Brunson-Theodorou fight and the others, and sort of give my assessments on them a bit more. But other than that, if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like and a comment, as well as hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell. It helps us out an absolute ton, and it is hugely appreciated. You can also follow us on Twitter to stay up to date with all the latest channel news, and follow us on Twitch as well. So, with that being said, I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ta-ta!